What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and I've been getting a lot of questions that are being asked in a lot of my videos, and it was brought to my attention that we do have some of the veterans and also newer viewers that have been asking some similar questions about the current abilities with the game that has been tuned, patched, and updated. What still works? So what's going to happen in this gameplay? I actually went out and I did a gameplay to kind of give you guys some insight into why I use some of the abilities that I use, and now you can take it with you and try to figure out what you would like to do with it. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to pause certain things and at certain points of the video to kind of explain what exactly I'm doing. Right there, that's a human joystick with the way that he's moving, but that's not what this video is really about. This guy just came and did whatever he wanted to do to me. If he waits a little bit longer, I could give him my mom's cell number if that's what he wants to do, but that's not what this is about. Over here, we're going to just go ahead. This is a predetermined animation. There's nothing you can do about that. You lose control over your player. That is probably the only way that I can be picked off, is with a predetermined animation, but that has nothing to do with what we're going to get into right now. That's just part of the game. We can't control that. EA determines when you're going to throw a pick and when you won't in those situations one-on-one. Right here, that is what Acrobat is. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, type 1. If you're a veteran, type 2. All right, pretty much because my veterans understand the importance of Acrobat, and your defensive lurker should always have Acrobat as an ability. I choose to keep 2 safeties as my players that I put abilities on, and they always have lurker and they always have Acrobat. Now, he would not jump and dive for that ball unless he had Acrobat. I want to explain to you guys a lot of things that go on within the game. You can't make your players react to certain things unless they have those abilities to do so. So it's very important that you guys understand. In some cases, you don't need abilities for certain things. Like, I'm going to go to Ryan Tannehill's release, and you're going to see that his release is actually super fast without abilities. Certain players, you can get away with certain things, but with defensive, skill and trying to make sure that you get everything that's owed to you, you are going to have a lot of difficulty if you don't have these abilities equipped. So I'm going to urge you guys, no matter who your defenders are, to take a look at the abilities that are there. And that goes for my veterans also. If you type 2 in the chat, you guys know what this is. We've experimented a lot, and you can't beat Acrobat. Because you'll get guys that still, there's a glitch that's still been in the game for like the last couple of years where, people will just throw low passes. And what happens is your players can't react to it fast enough. And even if you click on, if you don't have Acrobat, you won't be able to dive for the ball. So the guy will automatically keep catching it. So that's why for me, it's so important for my safeties to have these abilities, because they also get enforcer. So they're there for cleanup, and they can also pick the ball very, relatively easily. So those are just some of the things that I wanted to really touch base on to give you guys an idea of what's actually happening with it. As we go forward inside of this, I want you guys to understand a couple things, right? If I don't have Acrobat right there, I don't pick that ball. And I've shown you guys that before in certain gameplays. So we're gonna continue the video right now, so you guys can understand a little bit more as we go through. Now, with Ryan Tannehill, look, you see how his arm is ready to wind up, and you see that Calvin Johnson on the right side has a step. Also, Kelvin Benjamin on the left has a step. But I like the odds of Calvin better than the left, because Calvin is faster than Kelvin Benjamin. So I'm looking to it. The issue is, a lot of the quarterbacks in the game, if you don't have certain attributes, they can't get the ball off. Now remember, Gunslinger is for bullet passes. I've been debating this with you guys for so long. This is not a bullet pass. I need to lob this ball as super fast as possible. And Ryan Tannehill is going to release this ball so quickly that it can get out there. It's a typical lob pass, so I'm just tapping the button. That's all I'm doing. The button is being tapped, and the ball is going to get out there. The problem is, if you use other quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, other stuff like that, he's not going to release the ball as fast without abilities. And even with the abilities, the Gunslinger provides faster release for bullet passes. All right, so he's going to go ahead. Look at the release. That's immediately just out. I think I might have held L1 on that too, because it said high pass on the top. On the bottom right there, so I may have held L1, but you don't need to, whenever you have them beat deep, you don't really need to hold L1. I'm just used to doing it for Madden 18. For those of you guys that remember Madden 18, that was like a serious glitch to hold L1, but it's not necessary. You can just go ahead and tap the button, and depending on your QB's release, you're either going to have success or you're going to get sacked, okay? Because some of the other quarterbacks in this game, they take so long to release the ball that it's ridiculous. And what started to happen was Aaron Rodgers also started to do that. He also started to have that super slow release and started to do whatever he wanted. So now I'm like, right now, I'm really contemplating getting rid of him and keeping Ryan Tannehill. Like, Tannehill is just like, he's that good right now. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might get a raid cell video. I might be getting dressed up in my Winnie the Pooh outfit right about now as we're doing this video. And I may be going to go into the locker room, nothing underneath, and raid selling my entire squad. Now, this, I paused it because post flag elite, what happens is this, right? If your guy is running a post, a flag, out, whatever, and you have that on your player, they're going to give you the opportunity to catch the ball through the other person's body. Now, looking at this right here, you can clearly see Night Train Lane has the advantage, but that doesn't matter. Me having the advantage has nothing to do with his post flag elite. He's going to catch that ball no matter what. All right, now, that also happens in double coverage, triple coverage. What you may see is a lot of players that come out and they run bunch. They'll always have the single side on a post route, right? And they'll just throw it in the coverage, and people have been wondering, like, yo, how are they catching that? Yo, bro, what's up with that? Well, it's not that they have skill. It's the fact that the post flag elite gives them a greater chance of catching that ball. So right now, I know I'm getting dotted because I see that he has abilities on Gonzalez, and I knew what the abilities were because I reviewed it. You know, you hold the R2 button and you flick up on the right stick, and you can see all the abilities of your, you know, the opponent that you're playing. So I knew anytime he threw a post flag or whatever he was doing out, that I would have to be completely underneath it, because that would be a regular lurk if he doesn't have abilities. So when you guys ask me, like, you know, Gmia, you typically throw streaks, why do you have post flag elite? Well, sometimes I'll put them on a post depending on how they, you know, they cover me, because you guys have seen my gameplays. People start to triple team me, quadruple team me when they see that I'm just trying to moss them. So with that being said, you have to have other ways of being able to catch the ball, and that's what post flag elite does. So it's very, very ideal in the fact that if you do have that, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even matter. You can do whatever you want when you throw it in the coverage, because they're going to give you the ability to catch it. Now, some of you guys were asking, what if my corner would have had abilities? It doesn't matter. I've had abilities on lane. He still gets mossed the same way. The post flag elite is going to allow that to happen. So that's an ability that you can look to use for your wide receivers, for your tight ends, and it's going to give you greater success when throwing the ball into coverage. All right, so now we're just playing typical defense, seeing what he's doing. This guy's running around. Go ahead, man. Just start. Yeah, do whatever you want, man. Just do, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you need my mom's number, let me know. You got it. Like, this dude right here, he was actually a perfect candidate to actually, you know, do this video for. So it was very, very good, because a lot of the things that he's doing and what's going to happen later in the game, which is coming up very soon, you're going to pretty much like it, because you're going to see one of the most fascinating interceptions that you've ever seen in your life. And it's in the game, absolutely true, because we actually do a sports stream on Twitch on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. That's pretty much promoted by Twitch at GmiasWorld on Twitch, and we just went over some of the most ridiculous interceptions. Wait until you get to this. Now look, this that you're going to see right now has nothing to do with abilities. This is just some of the stuff that goes on within the game, because when the ball is tipped around and weird stuff starts happening, EA has a certain thing within the game where it could just go anywhere. The ball could end up anywhere. Now look, don't worry about Night Train. I moved them back a little bit. I know you saw that Okoye was right out there, but this guy was very scared. He needed to get the ball off like super fast, so I knew that was going to happen within that. But you know, again, right here, drop pick. Now you could put pick specialist on that, and you probably would not get that rating. I want to point that out, but I'm not 100% sure that you won't drop the pick. But when I was using pick specialist, he didn't drop picks. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say for 100%, but it definitely does help you get interceptions and, you know, get you better timing on those things. Right here, now, watch what happens here. Look at how he kicks the ball. Look at this. Look at this. You see what's going on? Now, that's actually realistic, because we've seen that happen. It's wild and ridiculous, but look at it, bro. He's kicking it up. That actually has happened, so I can't blame EA for that, and that has nothing to do with abilities. That's just Night Train trying to make a play on the ball, and the physics from him kicking the ball up that goes. So you guys got to understand, there's going to be a lot of different things that go on within the game. Right here, this is Streak Specialist. It gives you a better chance to catch any streak, similar to Post Flag Elite. All right, so you're going to press triangle, you're going to press Y, and you're going to go up and get that ball, and that's if he's running a streak. If you were running a post or a flag, or, you know, in, out, whatever, if you had those particular abilities with, you know, within that player, you're going to have a higher chance of going up and get it. Now with me, I lab these user catches. I can actually do this without abilities. It's just easier with abilities to do that. But if you wanted to get started with that, I would go to Streak Specialist and start to look into that, and make sure that your players are decent size. Start off, you know, Mike Evans, Calvin Johnson. Those guys are good guys to start off with. 6'5". Randy Moss is like his body type. He's built kind of weird, so he's like a slender dude. He like Calvin kind of shields. Kelvin Benjamin shields. Mike Evans is big body. He shields. So I would try with those guys with Streak Specialist and try to, you know, see what you can do with those type of things to get you started. This is the type of video that you guys were asking me to put out. So if you guys enjoy these type of videos, I would probably, you know, like you guys to let me know in the comment section and get the video to like 500 likes within 5 hours. Can you guys do that? If you guys are game for that, let me know in the comments by writing the number 23, because that Michael Jordan documentary is coming out soon. And also, I want to see how many of you guys are watching the entire video. So if I see that 23, I know what the deal is. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You have an unbelievable day. One love, y'all.